Solo Leveling, the anime that has me questioning my sanity, my taste in media, and occasionally my grip on reality. Is this peak brain rot? Absolutely. Is it fun? Also, yes. Can I stop watching? It's like scrolling TikTok at 3 AM and you know it's not good for you, but you're in too deep to care. Let's dive in and explore why this series is the fast food of anime. Delicious, visually satisfying, gives you that dopamine hit, and 30 minutes later you are wondering if you've consumed anything meaningful. This is Solo Leveling, a world where the plot is as thin as Jinwoo's emotional range, and the power scaling discourse is louder than a Super Saiyan scream at a Dragon Ball fans meetup. Today we examine a curious condition sweeping anime fandoms across the globe. One that rewires your dopamine receptors and convinces you that watching a guy mow through demon armies solo for 13 episodes is peak narrative complexity. That condition is brain rot, and Solo Leveling is patient zero. If you ever caught Son Jinwoo better than Goku because he can shadow summon a kaiju with glowy eyes and tragic backstory, you might have already been infected. Spend 5 minutes in the Solo Leveling subreddit, you will witness more battles over Jinwoo's power level than in the actual series. You would think people were betting their crypto wallets on whether Jinwoo could solo Goku, Gojo, or Aizen before breakfast. Spoiler, they think he can, and they will fight you in the comments if you disagree. And look, let's be real, no one is watching Solo Leveling for its layered storytelling. They're here to watch Jinwoo flex. We get one thing, unfiltered, overpowered fantasy. You don't press play expecting a philosophical exploration of humanity. You press play expecting Jinwoo to walk into a dungeon, obliterate everything in sight.
Nice.
The man has the narrative tension of a cheat code. He starts weak, unlocks a magical UI system that turns his life into a skill tree simulator. And by episode 3, he's soloing demon generals while barely breaking a sweat. There's no real dramatic arc. No should I do this or that. Just he will, because of course he will. It's power progression without consequence, and that's exactly what makes it both addictive and narratively empty. Now let's hold that up against other shonen anime. Take Naruto. For example, say what you will about the fillers. It has central conflicts, legacy, loneliness, and whether talent trumps hard work. Naruto earns his power over time and his internal struggles evolved with each arc. Even My Hero Academia, despite its melodrama and constant crying, wrestles with ideals and the burden of legacy. Deku doesn't just fight villains, he fights imposter syndrome. Contrast that with Jinwoo, whose only real enemy is the episode runtime. He doesn't struggle with ethics, grief, or identity. His growth is linear, mechanical, and that magical UI system, let's talk about that. The RPG interface is one of the laziest and the most overused shortcuts in modern power fantasy. It's efficient, sure, but it replaces world building with numbers. Instead of Jinwoo discovering who he is through failures and sacrifice, we watch him grind stats. Compare that to Log Horizon, where the UI and game logic are a part of the philosophical question, what does it mean to be trapped in a world with rules? Or even Sword Art Online, which yes, it has issues, but at least attempted to balance Kirito's power with psychological trauma and relationship dynamics. In Solo Leveling, the UI isn't a challenge, it's a buffet. Let's go deeper. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is a masterclass in narrative balance. Every power comes with a cost. Edward and Alphonse are literally defined by their sacrifices. They lose limbs, families, and sometimes their ideals. In Solo Leveling, Jinwoo's biggest sacrifice is skipping a family dinner. The man has an army of immortal shadow soldiers and the emotional complexity of a text form. And yet, I get it, the world sucks, you're tired, life is a mess, and watching Jinwoo cut through monsters like a human paper shredder is oddly comforting. It's therapeutic, it's stylish, and let's be honest, the animation actually insane. Season 2 is crisp. It's got fluid camera swings, particle effects for days, and more budget per frame than some countries' GDPs. The team went off. Jinwoo looks like he moonlights in a cologne commercial when he's not busy saving the universe. But once the eye candy wears off, you start to see the bones of the thing. Let's talk structure. Every arc follows the same blueprint. Jinwoo hears about a threat, said threat turns out to be strong, until he shows up late, flexes for 5 minutes, then instantly solo it with zero resistance. Level up, new title, repeat. There are no stakes, there is no new foil, no one challenges him emotionally, morally, or physically basically in any meaningful way. Even villains are just placeholders until Jinwoo gets a new passive skill. Compare that to Hunter x Hunter, where the villains are as developed as the heroes. Meruemu isn't just strong, he's layered, conflicted, and questions his very existence. Gon goes through actual psychological decay. Jinwoo just gets new boots. Then you have the Glazers, you know the type, the ones who says Jinwoo is the best written character of the decade because he hugged his sister once. Some of these fans would rather rewatch Jinwoo one-shots a boss than watch anything else. These fans aren't engaging with the story, they're using Jinwoo as a flex on other fandoms, and when challenged, they will default to, but he's stronger than your fave. Okay, cool, so is One Punch Man, but Saitama's whole arc is about how being invincible is boring. Jinwoo just keeps getting stronger and sadder. It's this mentality that contributes to the brain rot. Solo leveling doesn't just become popular, it spawned a whole genre of copycats webtoons. You've seen them. You know, like, they all follow the same template. Faceless OP guy, edgy backstory, girls love him, and there's exactly one facial expression, squinting confidently. This algorithmic success is creating a factory of forgettable content. Studios and publishers are now chasing the same high, fast-paced, low-risk, short-burst dopamine. Great for hype, terrible for longevity. We are being fed a diet of sugar, tasty but unsatisfying. While this trend offers exhilarating action, it also raises question about balance between spectacle and storytelling. There's also the topic no one really wants to touch, the subtle nationalism. In the manhwa and novel, there are moments where Korean superiority is implied very heavily. It's toned down in the anime, but it's still present in the structure. This isn't inherently bad. Each country has patriotic media, but when every non-Korean hunter is either evil, incompetent, or disposable, it starts feeling weird. Like, is this plot armor or a geopolitical statement? This adds extra layer of discomfort, especially when viewers from other countries start noticing it. Just because it's shiny doesn't mean it's solid gold. The hype train for solo leveling is running at full speed, but does it truly live up to the expectation? Everyone is calling this to be the next big thing, the new benchmark for anime, but is it really? Because underneath all the gloss, it's not really breaking any new ground, it's just refining a formula that has been around for decades, turn-based power fantasy optimized for short-term satisfaction. While the series excels in delivering breathtaking action sequences, it's crucial to approach it with a balanced perspective. I admit, the animation slaps, like this is Demon Slayer budget meets Instagram filter. But what is it covering up? Oh right, Jinwoo leveling up again and again forever. When was the last time you genuinely thought Jinwoo could lose? Overpowered MC kills tension, no stakes equal no engagement, and these episodes can feel like filler wrapped in hype. The truth hurts but shadows heal. Solo leveling is the fast food of anime. Hits the spot, satisfies your craving, maybe even surprises you with a seasonal new menu item. But you know it's not fine dining. You're not writing think pieces about the chicken nuggets. Same with solo leveling. It slaps no doubt, but let's not confuse a serotonin hit with a peak fiction. It's okay to indulge in this spectacle as long as we remain mindful of its narrative limitations. All that being said, I will still watch season 3. Of course, I will. Honestly, it's fun to shut your brain off and just enjoy the ride. We all love solo leveling because life sucks, and it feels good to be OP, to be in control of your life. Jinwoo is what we wish we were on a Monday morning. But let's not pretend this is the pinnacle of anime. Let's enjoy it for what it is, a fleshy, overpowered, often shallow, beautifully animated dopamine delivery system. And after it ends, maybe, just maybe, touch some grass, guys. Or at least check out something with a little more substance. Because a balanced anime diet, that keeps the brain rot at bay. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, just because Jinwoo can solo the world doesn't mean you have to solo your taste in anime.